Hello Scorpio and welcome to Soul Sundays. Scorpio, it's a quick 3-card spread, one for mind, body and soul for your week ahead. So let's get started. Universe and angels, messages and guides, my higher self, I call upon you now to give me clear and accurate reading for the sign of Scorpio. Please show me what they need to hear, not what they want to hear for their week ahead. Can I please have 3 cards, one for mind, body and soul. Whoop, there it is. Whew. Nice. Look, I'm not surprised to see this card because it is almost your birthday. The sun, vitality. I believe some of you even have a birthday coming up this week. Happy birthday. The very best card you can get in the entire deck for where your mind's at. So you're happy, you're vibing. This talks about having all the energy, being in a good place. Just as I say that, you draw the card for your physical body of taking it easy, learning to take a break this week. I feel like some of you have been pushing, doing a lot of hours. Yeah, you've got the card of repetition. So look, I'm just going to draw. I'm very much on symbols and images. I do a lot of stuff by sight. And if you have a look at, you've got the cards that talk about the cycles, the sun and the moon cycles. So that's a really important thing for you. Next week we have a new moon and I'll talk about that next week. But for this week, it's very much about the fact that you're in this happy zone, this zone of feeling energized and vitalized. And look, it doesn't surprise me with your birthday coming up, okay? It's like our new year whenever we have our sun sign coming in to have a birthday, right? This talks about satisfaction, success, accomplishment. It's really a favorable omen, right? It says the sun rises every day as a giving source of energy. It bathes the world in light, radiating clarity. All paths become clear in the light of day. The sun presents you with a clear vision. All you are, all you will be, is experiencing renewed energy. This burst of vitality will mean you feel better than you have for a long time. If you have been ill, the worst is behind you, and full recovery is near. Effort will be rewarded. This card signifies financial gain or recognition for study, hard work, or sheer determination. On an inner level, you are taking a great leap towards your dreams and desires. Resistance is melting away as you realize all things are possible. Celebrate your successes, revel in the warmth and joy of knowing even better times lie ahead. It's a beautiful card, as I said to you. It's just really happy, joyful. It's like the sun shining down on everything. You're just feeling in a great place. And the fact that you have the card of easy does it means just enjoy that for this week, okay? Enjoy the fact that you've got the energy. Enjoy the fact that you've achieved success, whether that be in your business life, in your professional life. If you've been sick and you're now coming out of it, take your time in terms of getting better. For some of you, you could have been quite ill. Because your previous card talked about searching for balance. So for some of you, you could have been quite ill, struggling with health, finally now finding the balance and feeling re-energized. Just don't rush back into getting into anything too soon. And then finally, you have the card of repetition. This card speaks a lot about cycles, obviously, as it's demonstrated, but also about going back over something that needs to be done before you can move on. It's like a karmic lesson, okay? And I'll read you the spiritual message from the book. It says, through infinite cycles of life and death and rebirth, our souls stretch into timeless repetition. All the while, your thoughts and actions draw from the past and feed into your present. The journey repeats as often as needed. There is no rushing through to the end. The cycle can be broken through wisdom, through detachment, through a memory of the sacred, and through a return to oneness. So it's a sense that somehow history is repeating. It could be that you're finally in this happy-go-lucky place and then you start doubting it or self-sabotaging it, like where did that come from, and is this too good to be true, that kind of thing. You need to realize that releasing stress and tension is the best way to do it before it gets to anger or before it gets to a storm. You know, one of the great things about your sign is that you are very loving until you reach a point of no return, and then that sting, that bite that you have can be quite lethal. Sometimes you need to have a release in some sort of way and get it out before it gets to that point, okay? Sometimes it's important to pick and choose your battles and realize that you can't win against different personalities. And sometimes this card can represent about needing to break a habit or a pattern or a form of thinking, right? So if you notice, and I talked about this for another sign, but if you notice this week that you constantly put yourself down or put someone else down, or maybe you're quite judgy, or there's someone challenging that you work with at work, just try and bring it back to your happiness and not let it detach from that, okay? Just let it roll off your back and be like, you know what, that's you, you do you, I'm cool with who I am, and try and break that cycle of you letting them get to you, or you feeling that anger or resentment or bitterness. And if that particular person in that particular situation keeps on repeating and you're like going, I feel like this before, then you need to find a physical way of letting it out. You've drawn the card of easy does it. So, you know, a lot of times people think that the way to get out anger is to replace anger with something that's really high intensity, like boxing or something like that, to get it out of your system. But I think for you, it's really asking you to take a really chilled method of releasing that anger and that stress. Swimming is really great if the temperature is good for you. If it's not, find an indoor pool. But I think it's like swimming along with reading is a physical form of meditation. It allows you to kind of switch off your mind because you're doing something that's repetitive. But it's really quite good for the soul because it'll kind of switch you off, but also give you the vitality that you need to get through, okay? Walking's really good as well. Anything that's kind of low impact this week. But you do have an invitation this week to harness this energy. You're feeling revitalized. You want to keep feeling like this as you go into your birthday month and get into the end of the year. The best way to do that is to notice when you catch yourself going through a cycle that's repetitive. If it feels familiar, if it seems like you've been there before, then catch yourself before you allow the cycle to repeat so that you can break it, learn the karmic lesson and move on. A beautiful week though, Scorpio, really beautiful. As you're coming into your birthday, you're just energized, vitalized, and I feel like I'm going through a little bit of a transformation, which is pretty cool. All right, that was your reading for this week. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button. It helps the channel more than you know, and I'll be back with you next week. Take care.